Hello my beautiful Foonatics, it is Fufu here. Today I have got some proper content for you, something that is not a 30-second video of craziness. I'm sorry if that's not your kind of thing. In the past few days that's all I've been uploading. It's because I have been really into ORAS. It's a really great game. You guys will love it if you haven't played it yet. But yeah, I've just been spending a lot of time doing that, finding stuff out, and decided to share little tidbits with you. I don't want to post like let's plays or too many spoilers or anything, so I just did that to tide you over while I was getting stuff ready. But today marks an occasion. This is going to be my first ORAS Wi-Fi battle for you guys, and of course, start as you mean to go on. I am going to be using Triple Punch Sableye. I've had a lot of requests to see this little guy again, and he is here, but this time in beautiful HD on the DS. So that's something very special. This was the first time I had used Sableye in game, and I was so excited to do it. It was against Jack, aka Shorty, aka TheDonphanatic, who you should check out. He's got a YouTube channel, and I'll post all of his links and stuff in the description. He hasn't played much ORAS yet, so this was one of his first forays into it, but he has got a strong team. With some big threats, the Greninja especially, and obviously Gallade is a powerhouse. So I was intimidated by the team. You guys probably recognize my team, but I'll run you through it quickly again if you didn't see my Mega-Sableye video. But I have got the Adamant Life Orb Piloswine with Stealth Rock. We've got a Trapping Gothitelle with the Specs. We've got a Scarf Latios because you want the speed for those Mega Salamence after the +1 with the Dragon Dance. We've got Mega-Sableye, the Triple Punch threat. You guys probably know him. He's pretty famous at the moment. And yeah, he's awesome. I love that little guy. And then we've got my dual water core of defensive Rotom and especially defensive Empoleon. Empoleon's really great specifically for Greninja in this meta, so I'm very, very glad I brought him along today. Rotom's just great because he's a Rotom. And he's great! So let's get into this battle. I thought that leading with Mamo was a good idea because I saw Garchomp. Garchomps are often leads and I thought it matched up well. Anyway, look at this beautiful starting thing. The only disappointing thing is like everyone looks the same in Wi-Fi's because of the clothes and stuff. But yeah, it's all kind of similar and can change. Anyways, Jack leads with the Greninja. That's not something that I wanted him to lead with, so I'm going to switch out. I'm Life Orb, not stashed on my Mamo, so I am going to switch out into my Empoleon. As I said, this is a great stop to it. Greninja gets low kick now, though, which is a bit of a problem, but I haven't seen any with it. If Empoleon becomes more of a thing in OU, then it could well do, but most of them run Gonk Shot and things, so Empoleon's a really good stop to that, actually. I just fire off a Scold here as I threaten out the Greninja and get the burn. So Jack's getting definitely the bad side of the hacks at the moment. He misses Hydro, wouldn't have done very much at all to my Empoleon. But then he gets burned on his Zapdos, and that did a lot of damage as well. I was quite surprised at the damage it did, seeing as I'm especially defensive and not special attack invested. But now I'm going to switch out, going to go into my Mamoswine, maybe predicting the electric type attack. But Jack sees that coming a mile off and goes for the Heat Wave. This is where Thick Fat on my Mamoswine comes into play. I was actually having a bit of trouble genning it before because my template was weird. But I managed to get it. If I hadn't got it, that would have been a problem. I was considering running Oblivious, but no. I did get my Thick Fat, and it means that I can take that Heat Wave all right. So I'm going to go for Stealth Rock. I see that I outspeed the Zapdos, which was not something that I was expecting after the Scold damage. I thought that he was probably more offensive, seeing that my Scold did so much damage. But I do outspeed, meaning that he's invested in bulk somehow, so presumably defensive, not specially defensive. I'm going to fire off an Icicle Crash here anyway. Life Orb, Adamant, Max Attack, Mamoswine. Let's see how much the damage this does. It actually is just going to do all the damage. I was not expecting that at all. Zapdos is a bulky mon. I didn't think that, but then this is Mamoswine, and he is a beast. That was pretty special. So now Jack brings in his Gallade. A big threat. However, again, I've got a nice little counter to that thing. He's going to switch out first, though. I'm going to switch into my counter. But he's going to switch out into Heatran. Not sure what exactly he was predicting there. It might have been the switch. Might have been, because, I mean, it's just something that just threatens the switch. But I'm going to go into the man himself. Godlike, the little Sableye, my friend. And this isn't really a matchup that I want. Sableye stops Mega-Gallade really nicely, though. He's a great answer to it. But I don't want to stay in here because I am a power-up Punch Sableye. Don't want to get burned by a Lava Plume, so I'm going to go into my Empoleon. I can take this guy on really well. Maybe predicting... Well, I don't think he would have gone for the rocks in case I Mega Evolved and Magic bounced them back. But I do have the defog on this, so if he decides to stay in and try and guess up rocks, I can defog them away this turn. So just going to get my lefties back. I don't get the burn on the Empoleon, which is fortunate. Empoleon doesn't have any recovery and has to rely on leftovers. So if I get burned, that's not great. He'll just get whittled and die. So I'm going to go for a Scald here. Get some damage on that Heatran. It's a nice little chunk. I'm guessing he is a Spadef set after defensive Zapdos. That's what I'm guessing. That's the core, I think. But he does set up the rocks. I'm going to try and get the defog off next turn as he actually goes for the protect. So this is just confirming that he's much more of a defensive set. Probably running Toxic as well. But because I have the Steel type on my Empoleon, he's not going to be able to do that. So this is quite a nice wall answer to Heatran. So I'm just going to go for a defog on this next turn. I don't want those rocks. I do realise I will be defogging away my own rocks though. And that's probably one of the reasons why Jack set up his rocks, just so that I would defog away them on his side too. So that was a good play by him, getting them up, forcing me to defog. I didn't have to defog, I could have left them up, but I don't really want the residual on my side of the field either. And I have the chance to set mine up again, so I'm just going to do that. He goes for another Lava Plume, does not get the burn. Again, very fortunate. I'm being a little bit lucky here, seeing as though I got the hacks earlier and Jack's not getting it now. But he's going to switch out. I'm going to keep going for the Scalds. He goes into Garchomp, which was a risky switch, seeing as though he's seen that I'm going for Scald. And if I get a burn on this Garchomp, it's not happy days for him. I do a lot of damage with the crit, but I don't get the burn. And that's more important for Jack. I mean, the crit was unfortunate, but in the long run, didn't really end up coming into play too much. But he doesn't get the burn, so that's the main thing. I'm now going to my defensive Rotom, able to take the hits from this Garchomp pretty well. But he goes to the EQ, so I'm going to take that amazingly well, because it didn't even hit me. And here is where Jack's slight inexperience with the tier comes into play, because I run HP Ice on my Rotom, and that's relatively common now. Not necessarily something you would predict anyway, but he goes into his Noivern and gets a massive hit off. I stay in here not knowing what he wants to do, thinking he might want to trick, and actually I wouldn't mind my Rotom being tricked because I do have the Volt Switch and can just come in, sponge a hit and Volt Switch with the Scarf. But he's actually Specs, goes for the Draco and almost OHKOs me. Oh my lord! Clutch Rotom though, living on that 7 HP, meaning that it can be death fodder later. But I don't have a nice switch into the Garchomp anymore, really. So that could be a problem, but I Volt Switch on the Noivern and get rid of that too. Things are looking pretty good right now. Things are looking pretty good. I could go into Miguel looking beautiful in his bow and dress. Absolutely fabulous. And it tempts in the Greninja. Kind of something I wanted to do, because now I've got a nice switch into my Empoleon. I didn't want him to bring in the Garchomp or whatever again, because as I said, I don't really have switch-ins on that. So I wanted to bring in something that I could take the hits from. He goes for spikes on the Greninja. I don't want them around, to be honest. So I'm going to try and defog them away ASAP. So that, I believe, is what I do. He's going for the Dark Pulses now with his Greninja. It's a Life Orb Greninja. You can see how much damage that does. I'm fully specially defensive Empoleon, and I thought that did quite a lot of damage. I was streaming at the time and people in the stream were saying you've got a very weird definition of a lot of damage. But I thought Empoleon was slightly bulkier than that. I'm not sure. Maybe it was my warp perspective. But yeah, I am able to get the defog off. Jack, I think, hoping for some flinches right now. He's not got any added effects on anything yet, so I've been particularly lucky. And I'm just going to fire off a Scald if he doesn't get the burn again. This does amazing damage. Empoleon is so strong, even without special attack investment. That does a lot of damage to Greninja. And it's looking like I might be able to live another one. He's got the Life Orb Recoil as well. I do live. He lives too, though. But I don't get the flinch, and it means that I can take out the Greninja without him trying to get a hit off on something else on my team. So right now, my dual water core is doing the job. They are doing the things. I do love those two. Empoleon especially is really impressing me in this meta. He is really great. But now the threat comes in, Gallade comes in. I do not want it to get the setup, and Empoleon, there's not really much point saving it for death fodder later. So I'm just going to hit Raw right here. If I survive, it's because he's gone for a Swords Dance really, so I was just going to roar him out if he does go for that. But no, he takes me out, that's fine. Penguin was a bit low on health anyway, so he wouldn't be able to take any hits. So now I'm going to go into the threat. As I said, this is a stop to Gallade, and I'm going to do the thing. This is the moment that I meet Mega-Sableye in person. This was quite emotional for me. I was tearing up at the time. It was very, very exciting. As I meet him, here he is behind his massive gem, peeking up the side, and I'm going to go straight for a power-up punch because this is the start of something. I decided to try and get it going. I'm a bit scared of the Lava Plume on the Heatran. I haven't seen Will-O-Wisp Heatran. I think that's a bit redundant, seeing as a Lava Plume does get the burn. Oh, well, he can't Wisp me anyway because I'm a freaking Mega-Sableye, of course. He goes to Lava Plume, does not get the burn. That is huge because it means that Sableye is able to get another power-up punch and is looking very nice right now. He's looking very nice. Well, he always looks nice because he's just a beautiful beast. But, yes! Sableye! I'm able to go for a Sucker Punch now. That does more... No, it does... Yeah, it does more damage than a super effective power-up punch. So I am able to take out the Heatran there at +2. Now, Gallade comes in. I was predicting some tricksiness here. I thought he might go for a Swords Dance trying to avoid the Sucker Punch. So I decided to go for a power-up punch. He actually goes to a Shadow Sneak, which would have out-prioritized my Sucker Punch. So me going for the Ice Punch was the correct play here. Now the Gallade goes for the knockoff. Because I am a Mega, it means that it's not going to be doing enough damage. It's not getting the item boost. I can recover off that and can now go for a Sucker Punch to take the Gallade out. And oh my lord! Mega-Sableye is going in! This is so exciting! This is my first time using him and he's doing the job already! I was so stoked. Anyways, now I don't want to go for a Sucker Punch just in case he has some trickery. But he goes to the Outrage. I was terrified that a Banded Outrage would take me out, but it doesn't! Mega-Sableye is able to take out his last Pokemon, the Garchomp, gets the rough skin damage, still survives, and proves that he is such a freaking threat! Oh my lord, that could not have gone better. I am in love with that Pokemon. Oh, it's so great. And what I'm specifically pleased by is that my set is tweaked a bit. I've got max HP, some attack investment with an adamant nature, and some defense investment too, just so that I can take some hits, and it worked out perfectly there because as you saw, it took the Outrage. If I didn't have the defense investment, I'm pretty sure I would have died to the Outrage. So I'm very happy with my set. I think I've tweaked it just about right. And yeah, happy days. I hope you guys enjoyed more Mega-Sableye. I have had requests. People seem to love it. I love it. It's a really cool Pokemon. So this marks the start of something special. And I'm going to be doing more Wi-Fis. I'm going to be doing more Showdown as well. Please let me know what you want to see. Definitely in terms of Wi-Fis. If you want to see some free-for-alls, if you want to see some, I think I'm going to do some RPG stuff, or what are the Megas you want to see. I'm really excited about this. ORAS is really stoked on firing me, and I've enjoyed playing through the game so much, more than any other Pokemon game for a long time. It's given me so much joy, and I really hope you guys get that joy too. Let me know what you want to see. I've been Fufu, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!